Welcome to another episode of How to Do Character Voices with the Beginner Player. Today we're going to be covering Tabaxi. Hailing from a distant and strange land, wandering Tabaxi are cat-like humanoids driven by a curiosity to collect, quotation mark, interesting artifacts, gather tales and stories, and lay eyes on all the world's wonders. They are very dexterous and have a charisma score increase, and of course they are cat-like. So my initial go-to are the Khajiits from Skyrim, which are pretty easy to do, but I'm going to throw down a couple other alternatives that you could do for your Tabaxi as well. So with the Tabaxi, we're really not going to be doing anything too crazy in the voice department. So what we're mostly going to be focusing on is role-playing sort of a memorable, silly character. So for me personally, if I were to do a Tabaxi, I would do something that literally just has to steal everything in sight.
Jazago has many wares that he has collected over his time. Jazago knows many things. Ah, that ring on your finger, where did you acquire it? I must know. I am a connoisseur of all things shiny, and all things shiny are mine. I'm a collector. I like things shiny. Shiny things bring me joy. Do not worry about your watch. It will be mine. Say, shopkeeper, you wouldn't be in one for charity, would you? I happen to know quite a few starving children in another location that could use such lovely fish. No? Well, seeing as you're looking the other way, don't mind if I just swipe this. It's mine, such a shiny fish, shiny fish, shiny fish. It's my fish and I found it.
So the first element of this voice that we're going to be doing is how fast does it talk? I imagine sort of a really graceful, elegant, flowing movement in how he speaks, sort of like a cat rubbing against your leg, and then it darts away and is gone, sort of ending on a sudden abruptness. You can kind of add that motion and that movement and that up and down to the voice a little bit. And then there's the pitch. We don't really change the pitch unless you could heighten it a little bit, make it dance around a little bit, but for the most part we're going to be keeping the pitch the same. And then there's the breathiness / constriction. So if you want to do a Khajiit style voice, you could just put a little bit of like constriction on it, so that sort of sound like there's gravel in your vocal cords and you're just constricting and just going just a little bit of that element. So sort of like
Jazago has many wares.
That's essentially how they get the Khajiit sound in Skyrim. So if that's what you're kind of going for, that familiar NPC relatable character, you can of course do any number of creative and silly voices, but that's just the one I'm going to be covering in this tutorial. Sort of like a cat purring against your leg, and it's keeping the same pitch, and then it's a little bit constricted, and it sort of flows around, and then it's really soft, not loud. So the last element is loudness, and it's really not that loud. Oh dear, there's so many things for me to steal. And then that ending, the cat walks off. Oh my, what a pretty ring. Oh, bother, what a beautiful set of earrings you have. It would be a shame if someone reclaimed it. Oh, shiny fish, I like... What are you looking at? These are mine. My things. I collected them. I did not steal. Oh, bother. Another element you could add to this character is, of course, you got the hiss sounds. So you could, if your character gets wounded, or if you see an NPC you don't like, just throw in those silly hiss sounds or anything like that that's going to sort of bring out that annoying cat mentality. Another thing that you could do, sort of from a role-playing aspect, is prevent your party from getting long rests. Just be sort of the night owl that gets up in the middle of the night during the party's long rest and begins to just cause absolute ruckus in some form or another, getting in the trash cans, knocking things around and just being absolutely loud and obnoxious. And then there's, of course, the detail of, like, maybe your character needs to sharpen his claws and he just so happens to do it on another PC's favorite tunic or their boot or something of the like. There's always kind of fun room for silly things like that. For a variant, you could have kind of a more,
I'm a cat, and I steal things. Jazargo has many wares. Jazargo steals things.
You can sort of bring out that constriction, that loudness a bit. You could up your pitch, Jazargo is just a cat who steals many, many things. They are mine, mine, mine. You can make your cat talk in only like 5 or 6 words, maybe that it understands.
Steal, eat, steal, take, give.
People try to teach it like the word give or something and it can't pronounce the word. All kinds of silly things you could do. So those are just some ideas for inspiration for your Tabaxi. All right, I think we've covered most of it. So, as always, happy voice acting. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever you bring to your table, usually players appreciate the effort. And if someone makes fun of you, then that's their problem because D&D is meant for fun. So have fun, acquire, and quotation marks, collect many things. Can I do a purring? I cannot make a purr last. Nope.